What's going on with y'all, man? About to give y'all this quick game. How y'all doing? And so look, man, I'm not gonna really wait. I'm gonna get into it, right? Because I feel like I talk to a lot of people. I feel like this is information that's lacking and I don't think people understand, right? And so I'm gonna walk y'all through it, right? So I actually just got a new gig the other day, right? New gig, and I was looking for the right gig for me, like the right job, the right opportunity for me, right? And I was like, I can no longer just do the normal 9 to 5. Like I can't really do it. It's not for me, right? I did contracting work and just was like, you know what? I need to be able to make more in less time, right? And so for me personally, when I was looking for a job, a lot of things a lot of you guys are scared to do, like sales, right? I was okay with doing sales, right? I know not all of y'all, but most people are scared to do sales, right? For whatever reason, they have a weird feeling towards it, makes them feel weird in their stomach, right? But all sales is transferring of trust. But so a few things that I wanted. I say, if I'm gonna get a job, if I'm gonna get a job, I say I'm gonna get a couple of things, right? One of the things that I said I'm gonna get is I gotta get some benefits, right? I had to get them benefits. So I said, so I went ahead and got that, right? The next thing that I wanted was not just a normal 9 to 5 salary, right? I wanted to position myself to be able to make more than $2K in a day. If that makes sense, right? So normally people get a job, they get their salary. Most people steer away from sales because they're a little nervous and scared that they can't perform well, right? For me, I was like, man, I need something that can yield me $2K in a day, right? So I found a gig that did that, where I had unlimited earning potential. Right, and so there's other things that you look for when you're in a job, right? Like for me personally, like it has to have a good work environment, right? Good community, shit like that. At this point, I'm 30 years old. I'm not trying to just get a quick little job for a couple of bucks at this point. Like if I'm a work with a company, it needs to be something that aligns with me, right? And so, but this is what I really want to talk about. A lot of us have been bamboozled, right? We get out of school, we just going with the flow. Like whoever hires me first, right? We not really thinking about our value when we get out of school. We just like, man, who gonna hire? Who gonna pay your boy? Right? And so a lot of people get out of school, whether that's high school, college, and they go straight to the employee route. Right? So I'm gonna explain to y'all the money quadrants. For the ones that don't know, does my marker work? So a lot of people go to the employee route, right? So what's wrong with the employee route, right? I'm gonna give you guys what's right with it, what's wrong with it, the pros and cons, right? And so for most of us, we go the employee route because we feel that it's secure, right? It's the idea, right, of getting a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks, or the 1st and the 15th that you know is gonna come in, right? That's why most people decide, I'm going to be an employee. We don't even think about it. We just say, I'm going to go get a job, fill out applications, and that's what it is. 9 to 5, right? So we've been conditioned this way, right? So the problem is, as an employee, you can only make so much money, right? And so over the years, over the years, after talking to so many wealthy people, going into their houses, right, Because, I mean, for the people that don't know, right, I used to do contracting work for Comcast. So I'll go into these rich people's houses. I'll be able to see, you know, everything they had. I'll hook up their cable, make sure their internet was blazing fast, right? And they loved me for it, right? But while I was there, I was going to ask them questions because I'm curious, right? You have a whole vineyard in your backyard. Hey, what's going on? You have a whole vineyard in your backyard. I want to know what you did to get it. Nigeria in the building, right? I wanted to know what you did to get it, right? And so doing that contracting work, I would always be asking people, so what you do? You know, what kind of work are you in? Right? I'm just, you know, picking people's brain, right? Because that's what we're here to do. We're not here to just not connect and stay in the house forever, right? We got to connect because that's what helps us expand our awareness and our consciousness, right? And so, but going back to the original point, right? Most people, we get out of school, we say, look, I'm about to fill out this application. Somebody gonna pay me. For whatever reason, that's how we are instantly conditioned to think. We don't think, okay, I'm out of school, let me make my own money. We say, who's gonna hire me? That's a whole nother story for another day, right? So the problem is, we think it's secure, right? We think it's secure because they pay supposedly every 2 weeks, right? They pay every week or every 2 weeks, bi-weekly or whatever. So we feel like it's secure. The problem is we don't realize that it's not secure until we actually get fired, until we get laid off. That's when we start looking for other opportunities, right? And so I'm going to take you out through the cycle. So most people, they go straight from school to the employee route. After they realize that, you know what, man, I'm getting tired of getting just $15 an hour. I'm getting tired of working 80 hours a week just to make $1,000 in a week, right? After people get tired and get fed up with working those long hours for that little bit of pay, right? They say, you know what, I'm going to work for myself, right? That's the next move, right? And so I just want you guys to understand it, right? So the next move is you go from employee to self-employed. So what is self-employed really, right? I look at self-employed, a barber, he's self-employed. A landscaper, right? He's self-employed. A lot of electricians out here, right? Make good money, self-employed, right? And so they're not getting an hourly wage per se. They're not necessarily always getting like a $20 an hour, right? Maybe they make a certain amount of money. All my markets is going dead. Maybe they make a certain amount of money per job. And so they say, I'm going to do a couple of jobs a day, and that's how I'm going to pay my bills, right? So the problem with this side of the quadrant, right, is you're trading time. I'm going to draw a clock. You're trading time for money. That's the problem, right? There's only 24 hours in a day, right? And so most people in poverty, they struggle because they only knew how to trade time for money. There's no other money coming in. So if they get sick, no bread. If they get laid off, no bread, right? On the other side of the quadrant, all of these people that's really doing good, that's really prosperous, that's really abundant, they're not relying on just that one source of income, that job, that salary. They're not just relying on their little hustle or their little small self-employed business, right? So then, let's say you do these two and then you realize, you know what, this is not the move, and you decide to get into a business, right? Because that's really the route that you want to be at anyway, right? The issue is with most black people, I'm gonna say it, right? I can't even be politically correct today. But I'm gonna say most people in general that come from middle to low class, right? We haven't been taught business skills. We went to school to be an employee. So business doesn't make sense to us. What makes sense is if I work this much, I'm gonna get this much, right? Business, creating systems, creating processes, creating leverage, we can't really visualize this. So I want y'all to understand the deeper shit. What's going on, Danny? How you doing, man? So, because I don't want to be on here too long, I want y'all to understand the deeper shit, right? Because really the truth of the matter is is we've been conditioned to be on this left side of the scene. We've been conditioned to be employees and self-employed and keep trading our time for money, right? And this is a bullshit clock, but look. So we've been conditioned to trade our time for money. The people that's making the big money in the world, what they do is they trade, they leverage people. They leverage systems. They leverage technology. So while you still trying to create your money from your physical effort every day, whether you are an employee on a time clock or self-employed, and self-employed could be a salesperson. Self-employed could be you MLMers. Self-employed could be affiliate marketing, right? If you haven't learned to set up systems, guess what? You're always spending time to make your money, right? Millionaires, they not doing that, right? They leverage people. They leverage systems. They leverage processes. So the business can run when they're on vacation, right? So I'm gonna go back to the title of the video, man. It's your choice, right? You have to take accountability for the way that you create financial freedom for yourself and your family, right? And so if you still over here in the self-employed, hustling and bustling and haven't figured it out, then you need to figure out, man, how can I create leverage? How can I start getting into the investing quadrant, right? Because that's what this last one is, investments. The richest people in the world ain't employees. And I ain't saying that, that you want to be the richest person in the world, right? But if you want financial freedom for you and your family, right? If you want financial freedom for you and your family, you got to get into that business and investing quadrant. Get out that self-employed quadrant. Get up out that employee quadrant. If you sell drugs and weed, you in that self-employed quadrant. You still selling time for money. You got to get in that investment side. So I'm going to go ahead and end that video with that, man. Hope y'all got value from it. Right? We got to change the way that we think about making money. We got to change the way that we use our money, right? We gotta start changing the way that we feel about money, right? We gotta feel more abundant, right? The reason why people are always broke is because they still on this side. They can't visualize how more money is gonna come in, right? All I teach people is how to use online marketing and online tools to create an extra income. That's all I teach. And you can go to onlinebread.net if you want to go ahead and claim the free course and learn how to do that, right? But we got to learn how to create leverage. We got to learn how to create businesses. We got to learn how to invest and make our money work for us. There's no reason for you to be working 9 to 5, 80 hours a week, and all that money that you bringing in just go out, right, to bills or whatever else, right? Some of that money needs to be working somewhere. Some of that money got to be working somewhere. So I'm going to leave this video on that note, man. Your money needs to be working somewhere. If your money ain't working for you, what are you doing? It's your boy B. Y'all be blessed.